What is poppin', y'all? YFLVI back at it again in the month of May. Today, bars, we are going to be talking about side decking. There's a lot of remote dueling going on, and I felt like it's important that we talk about it. I just wanted to do something educational because, like, why not, right? I talk about side decking all the time and just deck profiles, so why not we talk about this interesting mechanic. It'll just be a video on the basic fundamentals and obviously tips and tricks as suggested in the title and the thumbnail. Also, if you like these anime type thumbnails, I had a lot of fun making it. Please let me know if you like it and show some love. But without further ado, enough of my jibba jabba, let's get into this video. Okay, so first thing is first, we're going to be talking about what is side decking. To put it in a really simple way, side decking is the action of taking your main deck and extra deck and subbing it out with your side deck cards. And your side deck consists of 0 to 15 cards of spells, monsters, or traps, and extra deck monsters as well. So in this case, let's say I am not against a combo deck and I'm against something that is more stupid. For whatever reason, I can side in these 3 cards. It could be any 3 cards you want. It does have to be the same sleeves. So in this case, I have black Dragon Shield, so I'm going to use black, but for demonstrating purposes, I'm just going to keep it pink so you see the difference. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Whatever you put in, you take out. That's equivalent exchange. Wink wink to my anime fans out there. If your deck count is 40, it has to stay at 40. If it's 60, it has to stay at 60. Nothing can change and has to stay consistent. Now we have to understand why we side deck. Now the reason why we side deck, or anyone side decks, is to gain an advantage. So to put it in perspective, I'm a Dino player, right? People know that I banish from my graveyard a lot. I search a lot and I use a lot of monsters effects. A way to counter this is to side deck Artifact Lancia. For them, they're gaining an advantage, and in turn gives me the disadvantage. So we got the what, we got the why, we need the when now. When do you side deck? You side deck after games 1 and 2, because for those who don't know, an official match is out of 3 games, and whoever wins 2 games wins the match, and you move on to the next part of the tournament. So yeah, regardless of who wins games 1 and 2, you can side deck, and those are the only times you can. Now for another question that we'll answer for you guys is, when should you side deck? When is an appropriate time to do this? And I feel like the best way to put it is when I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. So since I'm a going second deck, right? So I play this big boy, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. It OTKs a lot of cards all at the same time. If I'm going first, this is basically going to be useless. So I need to side deck cards that will help me go first and help me gain that advantage. Now, if I'm going second deck like this, and I am going second, I necessarily may not need to side out cards. Because I do run Ash Blossom, Gamma, and Nibiru, I don't really need cards unless it's specific to that deck. So if I'm against Virtual World or like any ritual deck, I'm going to side in Dimensional Barrier, and I'm going to side in Artifact Lancia. Something that will stop them. And just as a reminder, this is going to be in combination with the tips and tricks. But this whole section is going to be called How to Side Deck Effectively. First things first, you need to know your deck. Is your deck a going first? Is it a going second deck? What is your deck strengths? What is your deck's weaknesses? So I already covered strengths, which is its consistency and its OTK potential. Now we have its weakness, and it's going against decks that can get rid of its graveyard stuff. So if we look at this deck, we have one graveyard reliant, another graveyard reliant, and graveyard reliant, and there should be one more here, and this one too. So this is most of the cards that you're going to see that are going to be affected by stuff like DD Crow, Artifact Lancia, Skullmeister, anything that negates banishing and graveyard effects. These cards are going to take a fat hit. So again, I know that, So that's why I run a card that is limited recently, and I play this. Even though it may not be the best, I still play it just in case they do try to negate my shit. I got this for backup. Since you know if your deck is going first or second, or once you figure it out, you need cards to go on the turns that you're not strong on. So, for example here, I have my dinosaurs, right? And I split it into the spells and monsters and hand traps. So I have hand traps here because it is a going second deck. I need going first cards. So these cards can include Solemn Strikes, my Judgments, Torrential Tributes, Imperial Order, maybe even, I don't know, the last Dimension Grounds. Those are good cards that can target a lot of decks. For going second, I have my hand traps, and let me just showcase to you guys what I have. So I have my combos, my combo herders, my monster herders, and then I have anything that wants to search. So I have my Ash Blossoms. In this case, what I really want to get across is not only siding out your first and second cards, but what to side out. So we already know what we're going to side out since we know our strengths and weaknesses, right? In this case, not every deck is going to be a combo deck, right? So we can take out this Nibiru. That's already 3 cards I have that I can side out. We look here, we have my Lost Worlds, so these are all main cards. When you look at what cards to side out, you don't want to take out any cards that you need. This field spell is a necessity. This searcher is a searcher, so it is a necessity. This we're going to put back here. This I need 2 of, because if I only run 1, since I only have 1 Jewel Beast, if I have 1 in my hand, I can't search out another one because I only have 1, right? So this is staying. Then we run into the Mystic Mines. This one I can play around with if I don't really think I need it. Upstart Goblin, that is a draw card, and then we run into these. If they're not affected by your effects, you can take out Mind Control as well. Again, this is a going second card, so you can take this out easily. So that's already 4 cards. That's already 4 cards that we made space of, and that's just by taking out your going second cards. So just like that, I already sorted out for my deck cards that I definitely will not use, and they're all going second cards. You can go back into your list and see if there's any going second cards that you don't need, if you know you're gonna go first. Okay, so now I'm gonna quickly list off some cards that you can use against certain type of decks. So against graveyard reliant decks, you can use Ghost Bell, Haunted Mansion, DD Crow, Skullmeister, Different Dimension Ground, Dimension Shifter, and Soul Drain. Against decks that banish a lot, Artifact Lancia, Soul Drain, and Imperial Iron Wall. Against combo decks, Nibiru, Torrential Tribute, Sphere Mode, Kaiju, Forbidden Droplet, Dark Blue No More, and even Lava Golem. Against back row heavy type decks, Lightning Storm, Twin Twister, Heavy Storm Duster, Hatronade, Cosmic Cyclone, Night Beam, MST, and Red Reboot. So as a quick recap, we talked about what is side decking, when should we side deck, and why we side deck, as well as knowing how to side deck effectively. This includes knowing your strengths and weaknesses of your deck, and knowing if it goes first or if it goes second. We also have to know what the meta is and how to combat those certain decks, or knowing what your locals do. So make sure you read up and do your research. I also provided a list of cards that you can use against certain types of decks. Most importantly, you have to know what cards to take out in your deck. I provided and demonstrated an example of me doing so myself. So maybe that'll help you guys get in the mindset of things when you're ever facing an opponent in a competitive or casual type game. But yeah, that's gonna wrap everything up. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening to all this, and please show some love down in the comments. Tell your mom, tell your auntie, tell anyone. It's highly appreciated. Thank y'all. Stay safe, and peace out.